Call me Hillary, stay at the bank. Making moves like I'm hot in the shank. I'm low key, but I pop out in blank. This bun on my knife, stop trying to look. They do not come for me. Fake, I can't keep no company. Only the real respect my honest. So watch how you coming if you're under me. I'm with it in Rex involved. By they text and calls. Run me, that making no sense at all. They bounce like a basketball. Your boo never coming back. This go stupid, go dumb. Told that boy you gotta pay for some. I sit on the throne, you ain't taking none. You bragging on past, I make for fun. I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. You mad while I'm getting busy. Country girl running your city. Attitude bad on Sadiddy. He only 2 times from the he out like a light, call him Ricky. And honestly, it ain't no cap in it. These no ain't no cap in it. I like with a stack in it. I'm bad at stop it, cause it ain't no eck in it. I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. Leaving my mark like a I see no biggie. I ain't keeping up with what you saying on the internet. I ain't keeping up with the news. But I get that daily paper. Stop playing me. Pap.
First off, let me talk my got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my it's a bad soundtrack, read the script. Born in the motherland, headed straight down to the south. Tennessee mornings with pops, working 3 jobs. I knew that they struggled to get it, that's why I wanted to get it. That embedded, you get it, treat it like a law. And I'ma need commission for this hit. Lance laid the canvas and I painted over it. I don't need a vision board to show you I'm betting on myself, count the chips. Got it. Made some choices for a profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin. Just being honest. Try to sink my ship like Titanic and leave me with Jack. Hope I be panicking, but I rose to the top. Isn't it funny that the is built like a Maserati, yoga folding like origami? What? I walk the walk. I talk the talk. I be saying what I want. When I had no deposit, closet was looking real bare. Now I made a deposit, my closet.
It was once just an idea until breaking ground in November of 2016, and now here it is in all its glory. Spectacular SoFi Stadium here in metropolitan Los Angeles. Today we start the new season with an AFC West Division battle right out of the gate between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here's a 6-year man, Austin Eckler. And right away, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you, that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Counter play with Jacobs. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 41, Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And they're going to get this up to midfield. That catch for his career is number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. He's got room at the 30, and he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And a short gain here down to the 22. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. It was Sebastian Joseph who got him down defensively.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Carr. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On play action, it's Carr. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
An extra quarterback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. To throw, it's Carr. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. On the return, Carter. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
Well, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Running on 1st down, Eckler. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
This out quickly to Williams. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now it's 3rd and 4.
All right, partner, I wasn't good enough to get this done, but I played with plenty of guys who did. When they spotted wide receiver screen and they got to the football fast and blew the whole thing up, the same result as we just saw usually happened. No gain.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now it's Herbert. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 17-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Out of the gun, Herbert to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal. To the air again, Herbert. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Gerald Everett from 3 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Carr. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Here comes Carter. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 44-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Big play that time by Mike Williams, and it picks up a first down, and he's coming off a career-best 76 catches and 1,146 yards last season and was rewarded with a nice extension for his efforts. Definitely hoping continuous improvement in his 6th season as a Chargers' big play threat.
He finds his target, Allen. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards, the final tally. Justin Herbert looking to pass. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers. Mike Williams, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Chargers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And it's 21-3. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. First down now. Now a play fake. Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
From midfield, here's Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It was Joey Bosa working his way in to bust that one up.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. To throw his Carr. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Carr now to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert, quick slant complete to Keenan Allen. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. Herbert throwing again. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by Jayon Brown. And the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And they're able to bring him down at the 20.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And this is going to be a Raiders 1st down as he'll get this up to the 25.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. The final shot here before half for Carr. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Carr. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Carr going to throw. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw taken in by Adams. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Now Carr. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
To throw again on 2nd down. Carr looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Again, it's Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48, gain of just 1. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Herbert. That's caught right side by Palmer. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now it's Herbert. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And that one complete to his receiver, Palmer. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Deron Harmon. And the Raiders are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he can't get away. Carr is going to go down, and that is a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they've changed plays when they see certain sets? A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
The Charger drive about to get going. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see. On Herbert, his third interception. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Now Carr. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, this defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Award that tackle for loss to the linebacker, Denzel Perryman. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Once more, here's Eckler. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Herbert now. And that is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. Chargers. Room here to run. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
It's Eckler again. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Eckler will take this into the end zone for a Charger touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Carr. Got a man open. It's Ross. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Carr to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw his Carr. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 49 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Carr, gotta have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Charger drive about to get going. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Eckler now between the tackles. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one good for 37 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. Second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. This was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1, and to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division, you knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Chargers, they begin the new year 1-0 as they come out victorious here.